Wednesday, so time for our Pastor's Corner Devotional. All this is a very quick, about 5 minutes, just sharing something from the Bible, especially something encouraging during this challenging time that we're all going through. So if you have a Bible, I want to invite you to turn it on or open it up to Psalm 25, verses 12 to 14. That's Psalm 25, verses 12 to 14. I want to read that to you. It says this: "Who then are those who fear the Lord? He will instruct them in the ways they should choose. They will spend their days in prosperity, and their descendants will inherit the land. The Lord confides in those who fear him. He makes his covenant known to them." I just like this passage simply because it reminds us of a simple premise. You and I have an instruction: fear the Lord. Given the times that we're in, a lot of anxiety, worry, and fear about what's going on around us, what does it mean for us to fear the Lord? And I think this is where, as Christians, we sometimes have a good understanding of this, and sometimes we have a poor understanding of this. The first thing is, some of us, we fear God, but we fear God in the wrong way. We fear God because we're worried that he's angry with us, or we fear God because we're scared of him. And that's not the relationship that God is asking of us. He's asking of us to fear him, but it means this. It means more so of having respect. It has an idea of reverence. It has an idea of mystery, of wonder, of awe towards God. And that's the kind of healthy respect that we're being asked to portray when we look at God. The Proverbs chapter 9 verse 10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom." And so this is the idea, is that behind all this we would understand really who God is. And then out of that we would operate our lives entirely around that understanding. So God's not some terror. He's not someone to be feared, like in terms of being scared, but he's someone to be respected, to be marveled at. But on the flip side to that, some of us have a poor understanding of that, where we just take complete advantage of God. We just totally disrespect God in how we behave, how we treat him, how we act. And again, that's where we need to balance this tension between this healthy fear, not of being afraid of God, but also not to the point where we're just loosey-goosey and we completely disrespect God. We need to find ourselves in that spectrum somewhere. And what God says here is encouraging for us. It says, for those of us who fear him, he gives us instructions in the ways, in the things that we have to choose. And so when we have an understanding of God, a healthy understanding of God, we get to hear from God, and he instructs us in the ways we should go. Sometimes we come up with difficult decisions that we need to make, and a healthy fear of God helps us make wise decisions, helps us to know, hey, what does God want me to do in this, and that we would follow suit in that. Another thing that he promises us is that we would spend our days in prosperity. This is not the idea that all of your luxuries will be met, but the idea of prosperity here is the idea of your well-being. Your well-being will be taken care of. God will take care of your needs, and God will take care of you. Another thing here that it says is that the Lord confides in those who fear him. Again, if we have this good relationship with God, this proper understanding of what it means to fear God, God confides in us. And that word confides is really this idea of friendship. God would have a friendship with us. He would have a friendship with us. Again, if we understand who God is, he's not a tyrant. He's not a person out there to get you. And the reason why we can say that is because as we celebrate Easter, as Easter's coming, and we celebrate Easter, we know that God's wrath and anger and his punishment, Jesus paid it all. Jesus already took all of that on the cross on behalf of me and on behalf of you. And so God is not angry with us. When he sees us through Jesus, who already died on the cross for our sins and rose again from the dead. And so that's why we don't have to have this fearful understanding of God, but rather one of respect and reverence instead. And here's what it says after that. He would make his covenant known to us. For those of us who fear him, his covenant is made known to us. The promises of God become more real to us. Promises like, I'll never leave you. Promises like, do not be afraid. Promises like, everything that I do is for good. And when we understand God and when we can trust in that, we have a healthier understanding of these promises as well. So that's it for this week. Go out there, have a proper and healthy understanding of the fear of God. Love and peace.